company is Black Series Edition LLC. Let me see. We put I'm working on the new design for the front, which I'm changing this over right now. Some of the stuff we're changing over. All right. LLC. Yes, LLC. Proper documents, proper tests on other screen paint products. That we do not see. How many of these products have been tested, properly tested? I can tell you right from the door. If they haven't done that test yet, and if I know customers now know what to ask for when requesting, because I get this all the time from customers, what should I be asking when I'm dealing with screen paint products? First, a question you need to ask is, how close is it going to come to house paint? I think that'd be your first one. Second, they're going to need paperwork, which means paperwork is missing. If you saw, we just showed off our registration copyrights. We got 3 more coming in. So you have to have a copyright for every single design you have. Since my copyrights are under the Advanced Ambient Projection Black Series Edition, any container that has that black symbol, has that logo on it right here, this is our logo. We actually made our logo our words. Which means any container we pop this on automatically comes copyrighted, protected, long as it has the Roman numbers we have here. The 57s have already been copyrighted. That paperwork has already been submitted already to LegalZoom, and that's on its way. So usually when you see the labels, you see the dummy labels, and then later on we'll show you what the real ones look like. So we have physical tax year coming in at December the 31st. I had to check. I got a buddy over mine works with IRS. Want to make sure I'm on time for filing my paperwork. 1099 forms. We will be requesting those people that have been running their mouths too much. Where your 1099 forms. You don't have those forms, you know, you can get into a lot of trouble for that, for not returning your, reporting your earnings to Uncle Sam. We play around with that kind of stuff at the end of the day. But, you know, they'll find out. Also, too, an LLC. Does your company have an LLC attached to it? Do you have a DBA? Well, you definitely have to have a DBA, and you need an EIN number. You definitely have to have one of them. I've had an EIN number, which I found out longer than I had my company under Crystal Edge, because I had when I used to develop, I used to do IT tech, computer techs on computers and stuff like that, and repair. I used to do a lot of stuff out of my home. And in order for me to get parts for cheaper, I needed a business tax wholesale license. So I applied for EIN number. But once you have one, you have one, which I found out when I went to LegalZoom and I spent $270, which I got it back on an EIN number. And they're like, oh, you already have one already. You just have to go to IRS and do like a switch over to the company you have now, which I'm in the process of doing, but I already have one. So I was able to get a copy of that number and submit it for the DBA in order to get my license, because you need a license if you're going to be doing any act. Well, you need a license anyway to sell either way. I think it's local, state, and I forgot what the other one is. So again, these are things you need to ask for. Now, and let me explain to people who have no education in this field whatsoever. I can help you out here. A patent and a copyright does not make a company. If a company doesn't have any copyrights, or if they don't have any patents under their products, it doesn't make the company not real. I love when people come in and make that statement. Stop doing that. You come off looking like an idiot. You know what copyrights and trademarks, you know what they do? They protect the product. That's what they're designed to do. Stop saying that. You come off sounding like an idiot. Having a license, LLC, or having a license, whether you're going to be sole proprietorship or you're going to be basically marked under a corporation, that you will have to show that your company is legit. You can't walk into City Hall and say, hey, look, I want a permit to be able to do a public address or blah, blah, blah here and there, and you're showing them copyrights and patents. They don't want to see that crap. They want to see that your company shows that it's a licensed company. You're licensed with the state. Or local state, wherever you're going to be at, but that's what they want to see. I couldn't care less about a patent. I couldn't care less about a copyright. A copyright just protects your artwork, music, stuff like that. So all our labels now will have that copyrighted symbol, because we can show my registration right there. That's my registration that I filed. See, that's what I said. At the end of the day, why you gentlemen are in your places doing absolutely nothing with your time. I sat here in this small little area and already got my company on the books. got it recognized as a real legit company. I can go into a bank, I can borrow from banks and stuff like that. My company is legit, it's real. You don't have that. I checked, I know, I had a friend go through your information. We couldn't track anything down at all, period. Let me see. And it's not hard to do. It really isn't hard to do to get that information. You go to LegalZoom, you follow the information as you go from there. If you know what you're doing, because you could follow something incompletely wrong and you could turn around and there'd be a lot of questions on your company that you can't provide because you went there and filed something you shouldn't have filed. That's why I got people who do some dumb stuff. We'll try to have something a little higher than us and go in and get a corporate license. And then you'll find out that you have to have so much information for a corporate license that they ask you, they require for you to have. And if you don't, they'll bring you down for questioning. Yes, they will. For every little thing, they'll bring it down. So make sure you got all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. Make sure you know what you're talking about when you fill out those forms. Don't lie on them. Don't do that. Don't try to make yourself seem like you're something that you're not. All right, let me see what we got here. I got to go pop over here because for each label we develop, like, okay, so we have the exotic company for a collection. Each one of those has a copyright attached to one of those names. As for the companies, it all we applied LLCs for every last one of them. And I had to go in and fill out a form for a license for each one. Yeah, you're going to have a license to sell. So if you don't have a license to sell, you're going to be in trouble. Now, if you're saying, what about other companies? Yeah, the Crystal Edge Technology Screens has its information right there. I can go back and show you my patents and copyrights and licenses on Crystal Edge. You think I'm gonna go in there and spend all that money? My copyrights are not cheap; they're like $200 something, but I'm gonna spend all that money for a copyright for Crystal Edge and forget everything else? And yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. No, my stuff is legit. So next time you guys want to talk about paperwork, yeah, I got some paperwork for you. Where the heck is your 1099 forms? If you don't know what that is, then you're gonna have some problems at the end of the year. Because you're supposed to have 1099 forms. It's supposed to be filled out. You're supposed to show exactly how much you made, how much you reported to Uncle Sam. If not, you're looking at some jail time and some serious, serious fines. If you've been making all that money, or whatever you claim you've been making, and you haven't been reporting your earnings. Also, too, have to go down and talk to an insurance carrier because I said before, we're going to be doing some installments this summer, and I need to have my company licensed and bonded, which guess what they're going to ask for? A license. You got to have the license, gentlemen. Got to have the license. And in order to get the license, you need an EIN number. You have to show that you're not sure you're paying taxes, but you do need the EIN number. And on top of that, especially if you're going to have employees, you're definitely going to have an EIN number because you got to report the wages that you're paying for your employees. You have to report that you are paying other people. Yeah, it's a whole lot of crazy stuff that goes along with it. And let's talk about the health insurance. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all that comes into play. But in order for you to get there, you're going to have to get that paperwork done. Now, like I said, when you guys contact me and you say, oh, your company's not legit because you don't have any patents or copyright, that you're an idiot. You are a complete idiot. I'm going to explain something to you again. Copyrights, patents, trademarks does not make a company at all, period. If you know anything about inventors, a lot of the inventors back then, like William Penn, a lot of those guys who Da Vinci, who developed all these different inventions, some of their stuff basically had patents on them, some of them didn't. Didn't mean they didn't exist. They did exist. Didn't mean the product didn't exist, or they designed machines for perfect machines for showing off the evolution of flight. Didn't mean that it didn't exist. It did exist. They just didn't have the paperwork there to protect the item from somebody coming in and taking it from them, or taking the rights of saying that they made it before they did. Because back then it wasn't about money. It was about basically being able the right to say that, yes, I invented the machine that allows man to fly. Because credibility was everything back then. Most of the guys didn't really get paid off their inventions. It was just your credibility to just come in before your other fellow inventors and say, yes, our responsibility. It's about what you call now clout, having the ability to brag that you did it first. That's what it was about. Or, if you didn't do it at first, that you probably took it and made it better, making a better mousetrap. That's what it's about. So you don't know anything at the end of the day when you come in and say, oh, prove that your product exists. Do you have safety material data codes under your product? Or data sheets, whatever you're going to call them. We do. We actually got one for this one. It's about $1,200 for those, because in order for me to sell overseas, you have to have those documents. Because say if something were to happen in customs and something were to spill or leak, they need to know exactly what they are dealing with. Especially if you're talking about working out of a warehouse and you're processing massive amount of orders. If you're throwing away containers, those same safety material data sheets have to be on every single dumpster you have out there, because they have to know how to dispose of what they have in those containers, or you get fined. So all this is really important. If you're going to work with major distributors, no distributor will touch you without that safety material data sheet. And yes, you're going to show that your license, your stuff is copyrighted, your stuff is trademarked, and your stuff is protected before they'll ever sign anything with you. All right, let me go over here. I need to dig something on this file right here. That's why I say, Joe, the naysayers waste their time. They're in there so worried about me at the end of the day. You don't even have proper documents on what you're doing at the end of the day. And not only that, your products are not even tested. So what you should have been doing, you should have been getting on LegalZoom or getting a lawyer or whatever you got to do. Get your stuff all locked in real nicely so you can basically have all that to prove that your company is legit. You're so worried about me at the end of the day. You have basically at the end of the day neglected your own freaking company at the end of the day, and look at the shambles it's in right now. First thing you need to do, before testing anything, you need to report your taxes. That's what you need to do. What you're making, report your earnings. That's what you need to do. That's the first thing you need to do. If you're making money off your website, you need to report it. That's what you need to do. Sometimes they have something called tax forgiveness laws. They have a lot of things you can apply for, maybe to help you out along the way to keep you not from going through an audit. You know how nasty an audit it is? And audits are extremely nasty. They will go 10 years back on you. You have to provide receipts on everything they request. Freaking nightmare. Never been through one, because I pay my taxes. That's why. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to pay your taxes. You know what kind of tax breaks you get when you pay your taxes, perks and benefits that you get at the end of the day? Everything that I buy for my company is a tax write-off. Even the DBA I just paid $280 for, it's a tax write-off. They said right there at the bottom, get this back through taxes. And I can get all of it back. At least you get something back. Let me see. Let me pull this up for a minute. I need to pull something up here. Something I need to go in here and check out real quick. That's our real label right there. There it is. Look at it. Not that. That's our real label right here. This is the real label. This is what they look like. Oh, too bad the thing came up. But yeah, it's on my screensaver. I'll show out. Actually, I got them on Facebook. I have them on Facebook. Display them on Facebook. Those are the real labels. That's what they look like. And they got that C sitting right next to it. You know what that C stands for? Copyright! If I wanted to, I could go in and duplicate your labels and copyright your stuff and take it from you. That fast, that quick. That's why you got to have your stuff copyrighted. Your LLC protects your company. At the end of the day, anyone can come in and take your company's name without that right there. They can lay claim to your company's name without this right there. So I can come in and literally file an LLC against your name and take it from you. You can't use it no more. Somebody can literally take it from you, but I don't know who would take it anyway at the end of the day, because your products are all linked to stuff that don't work. So who would want that at the end of the day? Where are we at? Do we post it? Yeah, we posted it right here. No, not just two people. Well, no. I know Goose Green and all them companies, they're all locked in. These guys are all locked in. But for you other people that are not locked in, you may want to start locking your stuff in, because anyone can come in. And all they have to do is just file that paperwork. And if it shows that nobody else owns that right to that name, they can take it. See right here on this copyright we have here, they got to do a copyright search, which means you have to go through every form of database to see how many people actually have this. If nobody has it, it becomes mine, which means because of this document, this registration number I have here, I'm the only one that has rights to this name, which means today I'm hiring my attorney to go do a search online. Any company that comes up to anything, and I had to do my research first, if they come up to similarly matching that name, and I've seen people with the Black Series Edition on their stuff. I don't know why they didn't copyright it. I have no idea why they didn't do it. You'd think they would, but they didn't. But it happens sometimes. So we got proof from the government that we have a certification of registration showing proof that we own the rights to this name now. And if right now, that's what we get the attorneys to do. Their job is to go online and to figure out how many companies they're obtaining this name. Even if your company is close to this name, you can be hit with a lawsuit. So say if you have, we have Black Series Edition, say you have something called Black Series Camping. You can't do that. It's too similar and too close to my name. So I can sue you for it. So there's a lot of letters going to be going out today telling people at the end of the day, you have two options. Either you remove it or you get how we file a lawsuit against you. Whew, I was so happy this name came back mine. Do you have any idea how much stuff I would have to change out from the door? Or they can rent it from us. Some companies will actually rent in order to have that. In order to keep it, they'll rent that from us. Because think about it, if you got that on business cards and logos and everything else, you got it on boom, 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 you got to change all that now. Even your websites have to be changed out. And some companies will pay us top dollar just to be able to keep that. Now, because we have our official copyrights now, we can start the process now of getting our merch done. Because now we got our own name. I got a custom paint roller I'm designing for myself, but when I do paint on demonstrations in front of groups of people, what I have to do for different meetings and get-togethers, I'm doing a custom roller that has a lid light right down the side of it. It is actually beautiful, and it has my company logo, that Black Series t-shirts, hoodies, calendars, ink pens, and ballpoint pens, some real good ones to kind of really like at the end of the day. Those right there, we can start getting all our stuff together for our packages. Oh, we got our customized boxes being done. Ooh, I get to make the new labels today too. We got to contact the graphic art designer too, so she could do that work for us. And for those of you who can't keep your sticky fingers off my freaking label, you want to play around with it, go do it. Please do. Please. I'm begging you to do it. I would drag you into court so fast it won't even be funny. 1 minute, and you'll be sitting in your house. The next minute, I will own everything you have. I will strip you clean. Play with me if you want. We're already, oh, I forgot. I'll take care of the day. I'll do it today. Got to do it today. I got to walk in the city. I got to file those papers. I keep forgetting to do this. I got somebody that violated something over us. We got to file forms. Please do. Please do. I'm going to take everything from you. I'm lying to you not. I don't care if you want to call me a Christian. I'm going to strip everything from you. I'm going to even hire someone to even go through your assets to figure out how much you're worth. And if you're hiding any money, we will find it. This year's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be none of that back and forth. I ain't got time for it. It's going to be me hiring an attorney to go through YouTube accounts, everything we need to go through. And if they find anything, then we will hire the investigator to figure out where you lay your head, and then we'll basically serve you, and I'll see you in court. That's how we're going to do it. You'll never see it coming. I'm not going to address you. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to do a back and forth on YouTube. We're not doing any of that. Simple and clean. If the attorneys find you, and they will pop into your chat rooms and all that other good stuff, because you can't block everybody. But we're going to do things different this way. I don't have time for the back and forth. It gets a bit childish sometimes. Even on my end, go back and forth is stupid. So we're going to handle this professionally. We're going to hire the attorney or attorneys to track down individuals that are tampering or basically slamming our products for no reason at all. And then once we figure out where you're at, we can either contact YouTube and get that information from you, or basically we can hire an investigator to track down your whereabouts. And then you'll get a knock at the door and you'll be served. I'll see you in court. That's how we're going to do it. I think the elements of surprise is much better. Oh, I'm so happy about this. All our paperwork is locking in. It's locking in. Boom, boom, boom. I cannot wait. Oh, and I love going to court. I really do. Same excitement I get about finding out if Black Diamond designs a black screen. That'd be so much fun. Okay, let me see. I'm getting too excited here. I gotta get me a bowl of cereal and watch some cartoons to calm down. Ooh, I love crushing people in court. I can't wait. Please play with me this year. Please. I'm begging you to do something stupid. Jamie's already done already. I gotta go and I gotta go to small claims. I'm actually do it right now. I'm just gonna take a lift over there and just file these paperwork now. I've been kind of dragging my feet on that with all the work I gotta do. It's only take a couple of minutes in there. We already got enough evidence to bury him already, so it's not a problem. I need to get that done. As a matter of fact, we're taking him to court 3 times. See, 3 times. One time he's going to small claims court twice and civil court because he did violate the copyrights on the Crystal Edge. Even though the Crystal Edge company is not there. Keep in mind the copyright's still standing. Because the copyrights still stand, I can still take you to court and I can file that lawsuit against you, including the other one, Silent Wake 5. And Parte is being sued for the fact that no one gave you permission to use my pictures and to slander my face that way. So again, that's a lawsuit. If you believe it's not so, you have my numbers right there on my website. Have your attorney call me and let them tell me that I can't sue you. I'll put it on speakerphone if you want. If he's okay with it, I'll put the whole conversation on speakerphone. That's how I know you don't got no. That's why I don't, at the end of the day, we'll never have that happen. Because again, if you talk to an attorney, the attorney's going to tell you right from the door that yes, you can be sued for that. That's why we have to get these waivers. Anytime I go out and I do any kind of expo or whatever, and if anyone gets in those video shots, we have to somebody edit that out, which I have to hire somebody to do my editing work for me now, since we're going to be out there doing that. They're going to have to edit that person out or get the consent of that person of giving us permission to use them in the video. We have to have consent forms. If not, and we use their face and say they don't like it or so and so and so, we can be sued for it. Guess what? Did I give you permission? No, I didn't. The lawsuit's going to be coming soon. Don't worry about Danny Boy. We'll figure out where you're at. That's why I paid the money for the investigator. That's what his job is to do. His job is to track people down and bring them into court so we can serve them. All right, so we'll have you soon enough. Let me see. All right, we got that already. I got to post them up over here. We got to get them on the labels. I got to go to Vistaprint. I got to do some shopping over there. I'm off, get my coffee mug. Get myself a coffee mug. If I do the mouse pad, I want the mouse pad. I want the good mouse pad. I want them cheap, flimsy mouse pads. I want the ones that have the LED lights on the side that light up. That's what I want. I want something really nice. And we're not doing those cheap t-shirts. I hate those cheap t-shirts, some cheap, dinky t-shirts. No, I want good t-shirts. I want real heavy t-shirts. And I want my company's logo sewn in the back of them. All right, I want something nice. Definitely want 50-ounce hoodies. Now, for those haters out there saying, well, who's going to... Oh, we got storefronts that we're actually putting in for next year. This is why I'm sitting here doing all this crazy paperwork to get ready for this summer. That's what all this paperwork is being done for. There's stages. I like to do things in stages. Just like when I was at that house with all that room and all that, I utilized the crap out of that place. Put screens on the ceiling, screens to the floor, giants. I utilized the daylights out of it. So all my test demonstrations are there. That's why those of you who have us on notifications, why your notifications were going off like crazy, because we're doing all those tests, all those videos, make sure we have everything done, everything locked in. So when we get to the next stage, it's all about show. Let me see. Where are you at, LegalZoom? I need to go check the boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. I need to go check on some stuff over here. I want to be able to see what it would cost me to get a corporate license, because we are going to need one for the other company. Where's your documents, boys? You don't have documents. You have nothing. You got a nerve to sit there and come to me and ask me for documents. Can't even show any documents at the end of the day. Let me see. We applied for the LLC, came with a license. I couldn't believe that. I actually paid the money for a license, and I got to get ready. Oh, I got a tax advisor who's supposed to be contacting me too, only to get set up for that. Let's see. And get insurance. We're definitely getting that. Yeah, definitely gonna get that license and bonded. Right there. These are my documents right here. Reference numbers. See right here, people? There you go. Gotta be able to show that, boys. That's what you need. See that right there? That's what you're gonna need. I paid for that whole package to get my all processed by the government, to get my LLC ready to go. Yeah, yummy. So next time you guys want to run your mouth, I'm gonna request your documents, because I'll definitely have mine. No problem. I'm going to request all your documents, including tax. What was the other one we paid for too? I paid for another document on here too. Oh, we got to do a trademark for the other company. Well, I'm going to be working on that today. Get business insurance. Oh, I can't wait to go through that application. Now, for anybody else who's going to be doing this in the long run, get your stuff copyrighted. Your music, whatever, get a copyright. Artwork, get it copyrighted. Two ways I tell people that if you're doing a copyright your artwork, number one, don't do the poor man copyright. That's the one where basically they tell you to mail it back to you. That crap doesn't work. You can't use that in court. Any documents in court, you will lose in court, and you will lose your whatever you try to copyright, you will lose that in court. That person will win all rights to your item. Make sure you get a document. Make sure you get a certification of registration, and you get a register number showing that your item is basically registered with the U.S. government. They can't touch it for jack. And that makes you easier for you to win your lawsuits. On top of that, don't go with that poor man copyright. And somebody tell me that actually works. No, the heck it doesn't, because they don't even, they basically don't even consider that to be a document. So they call it the poor man document. Let me see the document. Or actually, poor man copyright. Don't do that. And I tell people at the end of the day, if you got artwork, don't show it to anybody. Don't show your artwork off to people. Then you got some stuff you can show, but some of the stuff you really keep. Some artists have that little black book. They write all their little stuff and they draw all their things into. That's their personal deepest artwork. Some stuff, that's their best of their best. Don't show that to anybody. At the end of the day, make sure you get all that stuff copyrighted. Copyrighted under a collection. If you operate it each one by one, it's going to cost you a lot of money. But if you say this is my collection, you can copyright those particular artworks under that collection. So you can have 20 in that collection, and you can copyright that collection. This is my so and so and so collection. But if you give each one their own, each one's going to have their own name anyway. But if you do that separately, you don't put collection in there, what's going to happen is you're going to have to copyright each one of those at around almost $180 a pop. But if you say this is my what do you call it? My summer sky collection. Then you can have, this is the collection that was there, and under that collection, each one of those are protected. There's different ways of doing it. That's why we have a collection under the Black Series. Series is a collection. And that's an easier way of doing it. Some people get a little discouraged. They figure, oh, if I copy each one of these, it's going to cost me a lot of money. No, you put it under collection, you put it under series. This is my product line collection right here. If you change that, like we have the 57s are still under Black Series. They're still protected, but they do have that number. We can argue in court, basically, that, hey, look, even though it does have the Black Series, this one says a 57, this one says a 48. It's going to be something that's going to be tied up in a lot of litigation in court because, again, it's a gray area there. We don't want gray areas there. We want clean, cut, and done. So that's why when we did these copyrights, we wanted to do the copyrights under the same name, but they have the 57 in them. But that is a collection. So any screen paints we make under the Black Series under 57 is a part of that series, a part of that collection that's protected by that copyright. So I love it when I get people coming and says, you don't know what you're talking about. I think that certification of registration and registration number knows that I know exactly what the freak I'm talking about. That's why I have that document sitting on my desk and you don't. That's the difference. Tax services, attorney support. I don't need attorney support. I got my own. But I wonder what they got on there. On their end. Virtual mall, registration agent. Did we do all that? Legalize files. We did all this already. All right, that was one file. Tax services, compliances. I got to go through all this today. You see exactly purchases. These are my purchases that I paid for. Tell you one thing, it wasn't cheap. But it's a lot cheaper if you do it this way. It's a lot cheaper. In some places, you can spend a lot of money. So right here, we have under, these are active, which means these are ones I've actually already paid for. Okay, so these are my active purchases right here. That shows you, gentlemen, that I basically, or ladies and gentlemen, everyone put business license package, paid for, EIN documents, LLC paid for. Tax analyst, yes, I paid for tax analyst to basically make sure I don't jack anything up along the way because nobody wants to get freaking audited. Neither do I want to get audited. Let's see, legal protection. Ooh, yeah, we paid for that too. That involved basically under my patent and patent pendings that I applied for. So yes, my stuff is protected. So like I said, take your sticky fingers and touch my stuff, and I'll be there with a hammer to bang your fingers. Like, nope, we don't do that. Now, Jamie, I know at the end of the day, you're one of those people who like to tempt people. Yeah, I guarantee you, you're going to see my face a lot this year, a lot. And I guarantee the first time when I get you in court and you see how bad it's going to be and how I can be in court, you will not win anything. You will lose money coming out of that courtroom. The second time we serve you again, I guarantee you, you are going to regret it even worse than the first time. And then the third, which is going to be civil court, is going to be much worse. I guarantee you, you're going to be begging me on YouTube to basically drop the suit. If you ask nice enough, I'll let it go. That's this right here, LLC. This one's done right there. It's finished. Yeah, what's the details on that one right there? Solid Wake 5 is an open and shut lawsuit. That thing is so easy, it's not even funny. This joker literally took his fate to pick. Oh yeah, I forgot. What are we getting for? We're going to get you for fraud. There's a couple of things we're going to get you for. Fraud is definitely one of them. Definitely a fraud. See, that's the thing about it when I explain to people. Look, you naysayers, let me explain something to you. I'm gonna put you with this. So you rank on me because I am at my family's house right now as I'm looking for a new place, and you rank on me because I'm in this little area right here. I get more work done in a basement closet than you two will ever get done in a year's time. In this one spot that I sat in, I built a new company. I started 2 new product lines under the Alpha technology, under the Alpha technology. Yeah, so one technology we did on that one right there. I came in and built another website under the Exotic Collections. When I was sitting in the house, I built this company right here. That's already making very good money at the end of the day, extremely good money. And while I sat in this spot right here, I got all my documents for all 3 companies completed and done. What have you done? How many screen paints have you designed since I've been developing screen paints? Same old stuff, same demonstrations, same environments. That's because you're lazy. You don't get anything done. Websites are a complete joke. There's no information on it whatsoever, and you can't even back up or test your own products at the end of the day. I don't get it. You know what the problem is, gentlemen? You're lazy. That's the problem. You're just lazy. That's what it comes down to. You could stick me in a garden shed. And as long as I got Wi-Fi, I can build a company from the ground up. You don't have that ambition in life. You don't. That's why you're going to be where you're at. That's why your product's going to stay exactly where it's at, and mine's going to be on a much larger level. Now, if you excuse me, I have a company to call for window advertisement for the new ADTECH technology we've developed. Oh, wait till you see the business cards that we designed for that one. They are absolutely gorgeous. You ever seen a see-through video card? I'm sorry, see-through. Video card would be hard to see through. You ever seen a see-through? We got the business cards. Oh, yes. So, long story short, you're going to see it anyway. I'm looking for window space because that's all we need. We don't need a whole building right now. We just need window space for the ADTECH. So we got a hold of a company who basically does advertising, and they were curious about why we just wanted the windows only. We sent them over some information on the ADTECH. That's the thing about basically having a website that looks real. So you go to my website, it has showrooms in there. We can actually uplink an entire showroom with product information, video demonstrations, all that good stuff, which you don't have on your site. But anyway, so when they looked through that, they were just amazed by it. So they want to incorporate our technology, which is that window technology, into advertising for their ad space. Is that interesting or what? The very place that we're renting windows from to advertise our products for people to put their logos and their information there, they want to use that themselves to boost sales on their own company. That's why I explained to you that the ad tech technology we develop is worth millions of dollars. I got to sit down, Mom. Sit down. Boom. All right. I gotta go. I gotta be up tomorrow. I got to go look at another place tomorrow. And I have to call this company up for this window advertising. We can't even show them the stuff yet because right now we actually filed for a patent under this technology. It has to be locked in. Has to be locked in. Trademark, everything has to be locked in. Has to be. Because I can't run the risk of a company trying to steal it from me or take it from me. So yeah, and I have to make sure I have a big enough pit bull at the door to make sure that they know we mean business, that we're not going to play with them. So I got to get all that done. I have to get all kinds of NDAs designed for it, things we're working on. We got a few companies we're working on a few things, but I forgot NDAs to do for the other company because we have two art communities that are interested in using that product for murals and stuff like that and all kinds of interesting visual and digital displays. So it's a lot of work we got to do. That's basically about it. I got to get back to work because I don't want to go on and on about this, but long story short, gentlemen, you're not documented. Your products are untested. As far as I'm concerned or anybody else concerned in the real world, you don't exist. All right, got to go. Thank you all and God bless. I literally forgot I had